The Bold and the Beautiful has always been a show that captivates its audience with dramatic twists and turns, and the latest storyline involving Steffy Forrester has certainly proven to be no exception. A shocking revelation is on the horizon as Steffy, one of the central characters of the show, prepares to unveil a secret that has been kept under wraps for far too long. She is battling a rare and life-threatening disease, something she has kept hidden from everyone around her, especially her loving husband, Finn. For months, Steffy has quietly struggled with the weight of this condition, all the while maintaining the picture-perfect life that the Forrester family is known for. However, as her condition grows more severe, the cracks begin to show, and those closest to her are starting to take notice. The question arises, can Steffy find the strength to fight this rare disease, or will Finn's love and support be enough to pull her through? Finn, devoted to Steffy, has always been her rock, but this revelation is a game-changer. The disease that Steffy is facing is not something that can be easily treated or managed. Despite his medical expertise, Finn finds himself powerless in this situation. The man who has always been able to heal others is now faced with a medical condition that even he cannot cure. This new reality puts a strain on their marriage, as Steffy struggles with the fear that she might not be able to overcome this battle, and Finn is left feeling helpless. Steffy, not one to easily show vulnerability, finds herself at a crossroads. She decides to take matters into her own hands. Understanding that her only hope lies in finding a specialist who can treat her rare disease, she makes the bold decision to leave Los Angeles behind and travel to Europe. It's a decision that not only shocks Finn but also everyone else around her. Finn, however, cannot join her. His responsibilities in Los Angeles, his work as a doctor, and his deep connections to the town prevent him from leaving. The emotional strain of being separated from his wife at such a critical time is almost too much for him to bear, but he understands her need to fight this battle on her own terms. As Steffy prepares to leave for Europe, she is torn between her love for Finn and her desire to find a solution to her health crisis. The distance between them grows, and it becomes increasingly clear that Steffy's journey is not just one of physical healing, but also one of emotional and personal growth. During her time in Europe, Steffy begins to meet new people, and the most significant of them all is Dr. Alexei Durand, a renowned physician specializing in the very rare disease that Steffy is battling. Dr. Durand is not only incredibly skilled in his field, but also compassionate and attentive in a way that Steffy hasn't experienced before. She finds herself drawn to him, and the connection between them becomes undeniable. As Steffy grows closer to Dr. Durand, she finds herself in a dilemma. Her feelings for Finn, her husband, have always been strong, but the bond she forms with Dr. Durand starts to complicate things. She never expected to find someone who could make her feel understood in such a profound way. The emotional and physical strain of her illness has left her feeling vulnerable, and Dr. Durand's care provides a sense of comfort that she has not felt in a long time. But this newfound attraction also comes with guilt. She is still married to Finn, and despite the distance between them, she feels she owes him loyalty and honesty. Back in Los Angeles, Finn is struggling with the absence of his wife. He tries to keep himself busy with his work, but there is an emptiness that he can't shake. His concern for Steffy's well-being consumes him, and he finds himself constantly wondering if she is getting the treatment she needs. The longer she stays away, the more difficult it becomes for him to ignore the growing suspicion that something more might be going on between Steffy and Dr. Durand. Though he tries to trust Steffy and her judgment, the doubts begin to creep in, leaving him torn between wanting to support her and questioning whether their marriage can survive the distance and the strain of her illness. As Steffy's treatment progresses, her relationship with Dr. Durand deepens. She finds herself confiding in him about her struggles, not just with her illness, but with her marriage. Dr. Durand listens with empathy, and Steffy begins to realize that her feelings for him are growing stronger with each passing day. The tension between her loyalty to Finn and her growing attraction to Dr. Durand becomes more unbearable. She is caught in a whirlwind of emotions, not knowing if she should return to Los Angeles and try to salvage her marriage or follow her heart and explore the possibilities of a new life with someone who has shown her a level of care and understanding that she hasn't experienced before. Finn, meanwhile, is not blind to the changes happening in his relationship with Steffy. He senses the emotional distance that is growing between them, and his worst fears begin to materialize. The phone calls and messages from Steffy become less frequent, and when they do speak, there is an awkwardness that wasn't there before. Finn begins to question whether Steffy is truly as committed to their marriage as he is. The distance between them, both physical and emotional, is beginning to feel insurmountable. His love for her is unwavering, but he can't help but wonder if it's too late to save what they once had. As Steffy continues her treatment, she is faced with a difficult decision. Her disease is improving thanks to Dr. Durand's expertise, but her personal life is in turmoil. She has always been a fighter, but now she must decide if she is willing to fight for her marriage to Finn or if she needs to let go and embrace a new chapter in her life. The connection she shares with Dr. Durand is undeniable, but is it enough to convince her to leave her life with Finn behind? Steffy's heart is torn in two, and she knows that whatever decision she makes will have lasting consequences. The moment of truth finally arrives when Steffy has to make a choice. She can return to Los Angeles, reunite with Finn, and try to rebuild their relationship, or she can stay in Europe and explore a future with Dr. Durand. The pressure is immense, and Steffy feels the weight of the decision bearing down on her. She knows that her illness has changed her, and that the person she once was might not be the same as the person she is becoming. But what is the right choice? Is it possible to find happiness with someone else after everything she has been through with Finn, or is it time to accept that their love story has reached its end? In the end, Steffy's decision is not an easy one. As she faces her future, she knows that whatever path she chooses, it will come with its own set of challenges. But the one thing she is certain of is that she cannot continue living in the shadows of her illness and her past. She must choose a future that will allow her to heal, to grow, and to find happiness, whether that means staying with Finn or embracing a new love in her life. The question remains, will Steffy find her way back to Finn, or will her heart lead her down a new and unexpected path? The Bold and the Beautiful has always been a story of love, loss, and redemption, and this latest chapter is no exception. Steffy's journey is far from over, and the next twist in her story is sure to be just as thrilling and emotional as the last. As Steffy settles into her new life in Europe, her health continues to improve thanks to the expertise of Dr. Alexei Durand. The two share a deepening connection, both professional and personal, and Steffy finds herself falling for him in a way she never expected. She had come to Europe with the hope of finding a solution to her rare disease, but in doing so, she found something much more unexpected, a love that felt genuine and real. Dr. Durand offers her not only the medical support she needs, but the emotional comfort and care she had been missing for so long. Back in Los Angeles, however, things are not as peaceful. Finn, who has been coping with Steffy's absence, is now starting to find solace in an unexpected place, Hope Logan. It all started with Hope's frequent visits to Finn's office for checkups regarding the recurring headaches that she had been experiencing. Initially, these headaches were thought to be stress-related, a product of the pressure Hope faced at Forrester Creations and in her personal life. But as time passed, the headaches persisted, and Hope found herself seeking Finn's help more and more. Finn, always the compassionate doctor, has been there for Hope, offering both his medical expertise and emotional support. He listens patiently as Hope confides in him about the stresses of her career and family life, her constant juggling between being a mother, a wife, and a successful businesswoman. What began as a professional relationship slowly transformed into something more personal. Finn, who had been deeply affected by Steffy's absence, began to find comfort in Hope's presence. Her vulnerability, her openness about her struggles, and the way she leaned on him began to blur the lines between doctor and patient. For Hope, Finn's attention is a balm to her anxieties, a reassurance that she is not alone in her challenges. She begins to depend on him not only for her health, but for her emotional well-being. And as Finn spends more time with Hope, his feelings for her begin to shift. Hope, in turn, finds herself drawn to Finn, not just because he's the one helping her feel better, but because she starts to see him in a new light. She admires his strength and compassion, the way he always seems to know what to say to ease her worries. Their connection deepens over time, and before long, their friendship crosses the line into something more. The first kiss between Finn and Hope happens unexpectedly, a moment of emotional vulnerability that neither of them had planned for. The kiss is charged with the tension that had been building between them for weeks, and though they both pull back, unsure of what this means, it is clear that something has changed. They try to dismiss the kiss as a mistake, but the pull between them becomes undeniable. As Finn and Hope continue to grow closer, Steffy remains in Europe, unaware of what is happening back home. Her treatment progresses well, and Dr. Durand becomes more than just her doctor. He becomes her confidant, her support system, and eventually, her lover. Steffy's physical healing is paralleled by her emotional healing as she begins to accept that her life in Los Angeles and with Finn may be over. She had loved Finn deeply, but the distance between them had not only been physical but emotional. As she finds herself in the arms of someone who understands her struggles, she starts to wonder if this is the new beginning she had been searching for. Meanwhile, Finn's relationship with Hope takes a darker turn. What started as innocent support for a friend and patient has morphed into a full-fledged affair. Both of them are aware of the betrayal they are committing, but the emotional intensity of their connection clouds their judgment. Hope, feeling both guilt and excitement, tries to convince herself that she is not doing anything wrong, that her relationship with Finn is merely a byproduct of her own emotional needs. Finn, on the other hand, is torn. He still loves Steffy, but he cannot ignore the passion he feels for Hope, a passion that has only intensified as their affair deepens. The affair between Finn and Hope becomes more difficult to conceal as the months go by. Their late-night rendezvous, stolen moments of intimacy, and growing affection for one another cannot remain a secret forever. The tension between them builds, and it's only a matter of time before the truth comes to light. But for now, they continue to live in the shadows, caught between guilt and desire, each one trying to rationalize their actions as something that was inevitable. Steffy, unaware of the affair brewing in Los Angeles, begins to think more about her future with Dr. Durand. She is beginning to realize that her life has taken a turn she never expected, and it is a life she feels increasingly drawn to. She has found both peace and passion with Dr. Durand, and it has made her question whether her life with Finn was ever meant to be. Her health is improving, and her spirit feels lighter as she embraces a love that does not come with the complexities of her past relationship. But there is always a lingering question in her mind. What would her life look like if she returned to Los Angeles? Would she ever be able to return to Finn, or has too much changed? As the storyline unfolds, it becomes clear that Steffy's return to Los Angeles might be inevitable, but not in the way Finn might hope. The affair between Finn and Hope is on the verge of being exposed, and when it finally comes to light, it will shake the very foundation of Steffy and Finn's marriage. The revelation of Finn's betrayal will force Steffy to confront not only her own feelings for Dr. Durand, but also her unresolved emotions for her husband. The question becomes, can Steffy forgive Finn for his infidelity, or has their marriage already reached its breaking point? As for Finn, he is left to grapple with the consequences of his actions. The guilt of betraying his wife with Hope is overwhelming, but the desire to continue his affair with her is even stronger. His heart is torn between his love for Steffy, who is healing and growing in a way he can't seem to do, and the undeniable connection he shares with Hope. Can Finn truly leave Steffy behind and start a new life with Hope, or is the damage he has done too great for any relationship to survive? The bold twists and turns of this tangled love triangle have only just begun to unravel. Steffy's new life in Europe and her blossoming relationship with Dr. Durand will undoubtedly complicate things when she returns to Los Angeles. Will Steffy and Finn's relationship survive the infidelity and the emotional turmoil that both have endured? Or has this scandalous affair marked the end of their once promising future together? The bold and the beautiful never fails to keep its viewers on the edge of their seats, and this new chapter in Steffy and Finn's tumultuous relationship is sure to be filled with even more drama, heartbreak, and difficult decisions.